2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, sometime this afternoon. I'll just ad-lib it, change it in that. I completely forgot about that, Tasha. Put a super, like, Senate reaches agreement, or agreement reached on stimulus package. I'm so sorry. I'll change it in my iPad right now. Good Tuesday afternoon and welcome to your 4 to 5. I'm Maddie Gardner, joined by Taheshah Moise and Eric Chilton, who are live from their homes this afternoon. Christian Morgan is also here right there in the middle to give us a forecast here in just a moment. Don't forget, this show is interactive. It's a two-way street. We talk to you, but we want you to talk back to us. Join our conversation. We are live streaming on WFMY News 2's Facebook page, and make sure you use our hashtag 4 to 5.
Winston-Salem leaders say they want residents to wear face masks for the next 40 days in hopes of stopping the spread of the coronavirus. WFMY News 2's Grace Holland has more on the Mask the City initiative and how leaders plan to make sure everyone can get a mask.
Winston-Salem Mayor Alan Joynes says 30,000 of those masks are already being distributed in the city today, and he says there's going to be more than that coming as well. You can take a look at this video. These are those masks designed by a Mount Airy company along with Wake Forest Baptist Health. That company, the Renfro Corporation, says it will be making 1 million masks a week soon, and the first 300,000 will go to Winston-Salem. The city is working with nonprofits and community organizations to distribute at least 60,000 of those for free. The masks are reusable and can be washed up to 25 times, so city leaders are encouraging people to take one per person. The city says those masks should be worn anytime residents are out in public and it is difficult to social distance, so that would be like while you're grocery shopping. This is part of a larger effort by the city to encourage residents to wear masks between now and May 31st. People will be able to buy those masks on Friday at an event that will be held at a Lowe's Foods over on Peters Creek Parkway.
Grace, thank you. You are one step closer to being able to test yourself for COVID-19 at home. The FDA just gave LabCorp authorization for a new at-home coronavirus testing kit. You can swab yourself and send it back to a lab if it's recommended by a healthcare provider. LabCorp says their Pixel testing kit comes with everything you need to collect a sample. Right now there is a limited amount of tests, so they're prioritizing healthcare workers and first responders who have come in contact with someone with COVID-19 or are showing symptoms. Once that test is widely available, you'll be able to buy the kit online for $119. The Pixel test kit does not require a deep swab of your nasal passage as we've seen in the past. You just swab each nostril 3 times. That's according to a video on LabCorp's website. The emergency use approval of that kit comes at a time when Duke University medical experts say the biggest hurdle North Carolina faces in the coronavirus pandemic is the testing supply chain. Experts explained what North Carolina needs to reopen the state's economy. In a news conference earlier today, they said it's important to manage hotspots and we need to be able to identify people at risk of getting infected. They also said we need to be able to rapidly test those people to cut down on the spread. If we can trace properly, meaning find people who have come into contact with positive cases, then we won't need to test as much. Tracing and testing are 2 of the things Governor Cooper says need to happen to reopen the state. He spoke today on more steps we need to take.
I and my coronavirus task force, which is made up of business, health, education, and other leaders, are getting input from around the state as we prepare the plans to ease restrictions, protect the public health, and get our economy moving forward. Let's keep looking out for each other. And right now, staying at home is saving lives.
Meantime, Reopen NC gathered in protest in Raleigh today. Now, the group is continuing to press Governor Roy Cooper to lift current restrictions. The group believes that the stay-at-home order infringes upon their rights and want to get back to work. The group wants the state reopened by May 1st. This is now the 2nd week of protests for them. Governor Cooper did say the group can protest but must follow social distancing to abide by the executive order.
Let's get you caught up on the headlines of the day with your 4 to 5 roundup. More economic relief could soon be on the way. Senate Democrats reached a deal with the Trump administration and hope to pass an interim relief package to offset the fallout over coronavirus. The deal includes more money for the Paycheck Protection Program that gives loans to small businesses and ran out of money last week. Senate Leader Chuck Schumer says the deal includes $75 billion in additional assistance for hospitals, but it does not include money for states to make up for loss of revenue. If it passes today, the House could vote as early as Thursday. Lowe's Foods says an employee at a Burlington store, the one on University Drive, tested positive for COVID-19. That person is now getting medical care. Lowe's says they spoke to health experts after they found out about the case and reinforced cleaning and sanitizing protocols. The store will remain open. Lowe's Foods says they created a COVID-19 emergency leave policy to make sure their employees have the support they need if they get sick. President Trump says he will take action to temporarily halt immigration. In a tweet, the president said, in light of the attack from the invisible enemy, as well as the need to protect the jobs of our great American citizens, I will be signing an executive order to temporarily suspend immigration into the United States. Now, the White House counsel's office is still working on the details of that action before it's released. And Novo Nordisk is offering diabetic patients free insulin for 90 days if they no longer have health insurance because they lost their jobs during the pandemic. To get the medicine, you must show proof that you lost benefits. If that paperwork is not available, you can take advantage of the company's immediate supply. You also need to have a valid prescription for Novo Nordisk insulin and meet certain eligibility criteria.
Uncertainty surrounding the coronavirus pandemic, it's impacting big events, and we're talking about events all over the world. So organizers for 2 big events announced cancellations today. First is the Scripps National Spelling Bee. We all know about that, when organizers say there's no clear path in the pandemic to set a future date for the spelling bee this year. This means that 8th grade students will miss the final chance to participate in the national finals. That is a shame. Now, next event is Germany's Oktoberfest. The world famous annual celebration of beer was scheduled to run from the end of September through the beginning of October. Bavarian leaders say the risk is far too high to host the event. That event, by the way, brings in about 6 million people.
I'll tell you what, it's been a pretty nice day across the Triad. A mix of sun and clouds is a good way to describe it, but the big story today has been the wind. We had wind gust in the 30s, a 35 mile per hour, 36 mile per hour gust now that's been recorded at Piedmont Triad International Airport, a 31 mile per hour gust in Winston-Salem, and 25 to 30 mile per hour gust really all across the area too. So it's a breezy afternoon. I feel like we've been talking about the wind a lot, but actually historically this is the windiest time of the year, so it totally makes sense. Temperature wise, much nicer today. We're in the low 70s across the Triad. At this point we were in the 50s at this time yesterday. Take a look over the Triad and you can see just a mix of sun and clouds in the sky, and that's kind of been the story of today. On radar there are a few showers across the area, but they're very small, and as we go through the rest of the evening, a stray shower, very scattered in nature, is possible, but for the most part, we stay dry. Here's the story. A dry cold front passing our area, which means it doesn't really have a whole lot of moisture with it, but of course it is bringing those winds. High pressure will build in. It's a really nice day on Wednesday, but then we are watching our next system with some rain and the possibility to get some thunderstorms heading our way on Thursday. Now, we're just in a level 1 out of 5 for severe weather. The better chance for severe weather is going to stay down to the south and east, but it can't be totally ruled out. If it does happen, it will be something that we watch for the evening hours on Thursday. Overnight clear skies, it will be much less windy. Those winds will calm down. Upper 30s to right around 40 degrees. I don't think we'll see a frost, but if you're a little cautious, you might want to protect some of those plants. Tomorrow, really simple day, sunny skies, less windy, and a slightly cooler, temperatures in the upper 60s to right around 70 degrees. So we're watching Thursday for some rain and the possibility of storms. Again, that would be an evening time frame for those storms between about 6 and about 2 a.m. on Friday morning. Clearing out Friday morning, Friday afternoon is nice. We get a break before we watch our next system with rain and the possibility of some storms heading our way on Saturday. Temperatures in the upper 60s on Saturday, drying out much cooler in the lower 60s on Sunday, and we are dry to start next week. Your 4 to 5 will be right back.
I check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hey, you probably need to mute your mic because I can hear everything that's going on in the control room, and that's probably gonna, you know.
When it comes to getting married, a key part of the process is securing that gown for the bride-to-be. Well, with bridal boutiques having to close because of COVID-19, one Greensboro boutique is bringing the boutique to the customer. Nora Robertson always imagined she'd have the typical wedding dress shopping experience.
As soon as I tried on that one dress, like everybody was gonna cry, I was gonna cry.
But with COVID-19 closing bridal boutiques, she thought her September wedding would be ruined.
I was like, I'm not gonna be able to find a wedding dress in 5 months. There's just no way.
But she did.
I said yes to the dress.
All from the comfort of her home, thanks to new virtual bridal appointments at Simply Stunning by Divas in Greensboro. Owner Kathleen Pickering says she actually came up with the idea years ago.
Of course, with the pandemic that hit us, it forced me into actually taking action with this.
Each client gets a personalized one-on-one consultation.
It's more important now than it's ever been before to allow these girls to have some hope, to have some fun, to have some of their wishes possibly come to pass.
The appointment takes place using Zoom, but Pickering also has a separate video call going during the session.
So that way we can zoom in, if you will, by way of our phone, the details of the gowns.
Dresses are set up all over the shop on mannequins, but 2 models will also try on any dresses the client wants to see. That's something Allie Hopkins, who also virtually said yes to the dress, appreciates.
They were really great, making sure I got to see the dress in its entirety. And I ended up finding the dress of my dreams.
Though seemingly unorthodox, Pickering says she plans to keep up these virtual appointments long after COVID-19 is gone.
I think this is something of the future. This is going to actually help us get to know all of our customers before they walk through the door.
So both of the brides I spoke to for this story ended up buying their dresses off the rack, but they said that the Simply Stunning team made sure to call the manufacturer for each dress that they were interested in to verify the shipping time. I was also told that they plan to offer mother of the bride virtual appointments in the near future, Maddie. So really just a great idea, a great way to just kind of have some hope, you know, that we will make it through this and something to look forward to and a way to secure, you know, that dress that you need for the big day.
Yes, wedding planning does not have to stop completely. It just looks a little bit different. Okay, Taheshah, as someone who's engaged, planning a wedding right now, would you do this?
If it was my only option, of course I would do it. I mean, I am already kind of doing that, right? As I'm going through Pinterest and I'm going through Instagram and I'm looking at these dresses, and I already kind of have a feel for the style that I want and what looks good on me. So it kind of would just need to be seeing that dress. So I would go for it.
Yeah, I think we have to, you know, applaud these small business owners who have completely changed their business models to keep up during this pandemic. I mean, this bridal boutique, I'm sure they never thought when they opened their doors that they'd have to do these virtual try-ons, but it's really smart.
Well, if you know Kathleen, she's been around for about 30 years. She says she's reinvented herself many times. So this is just another way that she's doing this. So she is also working on some other projects, even planning to start designing her own wedding dresses in the future. So a lot to come from Simply Stunning.
A business to watch for sure. All right, we are going to head to break, but we want to continue to chat with you. We are live streaming on WFMY News 2's Facebook page. Join our conversation right now. We'll meet you there. Use our hashtag 4 to 5.
You know, they say if you have a gift, share it. Simple as that. And that's even more true these days with what we're going through, right? One Greensboro artist is inspiring passersby with her gift. Take a look.
You know, we're all looking for inspiration in any form these days, and I just thought this was the coolest thing when I saw this on Facebook. Nancy Bullock joins us this morning, and we're talking a little bit about inspiration, and what you do is so cool because you're an artist and you decided to share your art. How did all this come about?
Eric, when I saw the people of Italy throw open their windows and serenade with music, it brought me to tears, and I just thought this is the most beautiful expression of community, and I wish I could be a part of it, but I'm not musically talented. I wanted to do the same, but I just wasn't prepared. And my husband said, but you do have a gift. Even if it's not a musical gift, you have a gift, it's your art. So every day we put out on an easel at the edge of the yard a painting for them to enjoy. It's my visual gift to my neighbors.
The fact that you said, hey, this is the gift I can share. What type of comments or reactions are you getting from your neighbors?
It's really interesting. Sometimes I'm washing dishes at the kitchen sink and I look out and someone is out there in the street giving me a thumbs up, or I've even gotten applause. Whole families with children, parents, stop on their bikes and the parents discuss the art with their children. I think it's just a way of stopping what you're doing from watching the news too much and enjoying a little bit of beauty in the world and discussing something other than the coronavirus.
That's a perfect way to end the segment. Nancy, thanks for being with us today. You keep doing that. I love it.
So Maddie, Nancy is such a sweetheart. I mean, really a sweet lady. She was emphatic with me. I'm not trying to sell my art. I'm just doing this for people. She doesn't even put price tags on it. But I will say this because she won't. But her art is available at nancybullock.com, and that's BULLUCK. She told me she didn't even want me to do that. But her art is phenomenal. And she just says, hopefully she can brighten somebody's day a little bit.
I love that, Chilton, and I love that she got inspiration from people in Italy who kind of started this trend of reaching out to neighbors and putting on shows and just having something to look forward to during the afternoon when they would come out on their balconies and sing. I think that's really special how we're gaining that inspiration from people who live across an ocean from us, right?
And a lot of the people that would walk by, you know, she said they would wave and everything and give her thumbs up, but some of them would leave her little trinkets. One of them left a little rock that was painted yellow with a smiley face on it, and just to thank her for what she's doing. She's a sweetheart. You need to check her out.
That's awesome. Yeah, I wish I had some kind of talent like that I could give to people. Chilton, you could sing, stand on the end of your driveway and sing some beach music for us.
No.
Yes.
My neighbors be like, had enough.
I'm getting him a megaphone. All right, we'll be right back. We're heading to break, but we are live on our Facebook page, WFMY News 2, and we'll chat with you there.
Mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Tasha, is that good? I'll just give you a mic.
Here at WFMY News 2, we always want to share things that make you smile. This pandemic, of course, it's brought us all together in different ways. We're reaching out to each other more, maybe even finding some creative ways to enjoy time together. Well, we ask you to share with us the ways your family is bonding on WFMY News 2's Facebook page. Digital expert Jalen Gilkey has the answers.
Yes, Maddie. So like Maddie said, we asked you all, how are you all bonding with your family? We got some pretty good comments. Our first one comes from Glenna, excuse me. She said they built a storage building. Her son, his wife, the 2 grandsons, dad and mom cooked. And then Stacy, she says, this has been amazing for our family. We have been able to teach our children so much. They are seeing firsthand how we as a family need to trust and lean on each other. And then we had one comment that came from Glenn in the live feed. Glenn says he's been doing a whole bunch of different things. He's been practicing his teaching methods with his son. They even were working on a car. So stuff that takes a lot of patience, but this is something that is beautiful. And this is something that we need to use as an opportunity to come back together, because a lot of us, like me, aren't able to see our family every day, and that's killing me. I miss my mom.
Yeah, I know, Jalen, I've always been so happy that my family's in Mount Airy, just, you know, an hour and a half up the road, but even now I can't go up there and visit them. So we've really used virtual calls and Zoom meetings to talk with my parents and my sister and brother-in-law who live out in Texas. Have you used any of the technology to stay connected?
Absolutely. We FaceTime all the time. We actually had a FaceTime Easter dinner. That was
awesome.
fun.
That's
I didn't get to eat though, because
okay.
you know how that works. But
I know
it's all
you.
good. I missed it out. I missed out this year. Hopefully I can get back soon.
He's a secret chef, so I'm sure he whipped up something tasty for Easter dinner as well. All right, let's check in now with Christian Morgan to see what the forecast looks like.
I'll tell you what, it's been a pretty nice afternoon of weather. Temperature-wise, about 15 to 20 degrees warmer than we were yesterday. We were in the 50s at this time yesterday. We're in the 70s now, and I think that we'll all agree that this is a little bit better. Mix of sun and clouds across the area. That's kind of been the story of today. There are just a few little showers scattered about across the area, and as we go through the rest of the evening, a few very scattered in nature showers are possible, but for the most part, we do stay dry. That cold front crossing our area, it doesn't have a whole lot of moisture with it. That's why we only get that chance for a few scattered showers. But high pressure builds back in. Wednesday is a beautiful day of weather, and then we're tracking our next system with some rain and the possibility of some thunderstorms on Thursday. Looks like it would be an evening to nighttime time frame if we do get storms. The better chance for severe storms is going to be down to the south and east, but it's something that we will keep an eye on for you heading into Thursday. Clear overnight, upper 30 degrees. Wednesday is beautiful. Less windy, lots of sunshine, a tad bit cooler. Afternoon highs in the upper 60s to near 70. Your 4 to 5, we'll be right back.
Hello? Ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie, they forever go together like a classic combination. So how about if we split it up and I have him say ice cream, you scream, and she says we all scream for ice cream. Okay.
Good afternoon and welcome back to your 4 to 5. I'm Maddie Gardner here with Eric Chilton, Taheshah Moise, and Christian Morgan. The gang is all right here, even in monitors. We're still all together, right, folks? And we are connected with you as well. This is an interactive newscast. We want you to chat with us on our live stream. Just log on to WFMY News 2's Facebook page and use our hashtag 4 to 5. All right, let's begin this half hour by getting you caught up on the headlines of the day. Here is your 4 to 5 roundup. Rockingham County leaders are sending a friendly reminder on how to stay healthy during coronavirus. When practicing safe social distancing, the county says to avoid groups of 25 or more people. Although current executive order that the entire state must follow bans groups larger than 10 people. Now, if you do have to go out and possibly be around people, stay 6 feet away. And remember, social distancing helps stop the spread of the virus. Rockingham County currently has 20 cases of coronavirus. 13 people have recovered. A new study from Carolina Demographics shows that North Carolina is falling behind in census rankings. Our state ranks 38th out of 50. Only 47% of households here have completed the census. Almost 7% did that by mail or by phone. In-person interactions with the census are suspended until June 1st. Completing the survey helps local communities get more money and accurate representation in government. Check your mailbox. You should have a letter with your personal ID to put into the census website. Remember, if you don't fill out the survey by the October 31st deadline, you will get that paper questionnaire in the mail. The Blue Ridge Parkway wants to help you feel like you're outside even when you stay at home. In honor of National Park Week, you can take a virtual tour of the Great Smoky Mountains. Just go to the Blue Ridge Parkway's Instagram page. You can take that tour on their Instagram stories. Rangers from the Great Smoky Mountains are taking over their account and sharing information as well as answering your questions. And it is National Volunteer Week, and there are several ways you can volunteer safely during the pandemic. United Way of Greater Greensboro and the Volunteer Center of the Triad have a few ideas. Book drives for kids, car drives for seniors, packing bag lunches at Greensboro Urban Ministry, and sorting bread and produce for the Out of the Garden Project. You can also pack bags or sort donations for Backpack Beginnings. Well, even with the stay-at-home order, we are still allowed to go to grocery stores to get food for our families. But now some believe that customers should not be allowed to shop inside the store, and doing so puts workers at risk. Union leaders and small grocery store owners believe it's too dangerous to let customers browse the aisles and the store continue to be flooded with shoppers. Instead, they want to convert to curbside pickup and home delivery. The United Food and Commercial Workers Union says careless customers are the biggest threat to workers, and 85% of grocery store member workers reported that customers are not following social distancing guidelines. So I asked you what you thought about this idea of closing the stores to customers on my Facebook page, and you had something to say about it. Most people thought it was a bad idea. We'll start here with Darlene, who said, no, I know what I want to pick up, and I want to do that with my own produce and meats. I'm a responsible person. I wear a mask even though I don't want to. I wash my hands. Need to see people even though I am social distancing. Living alone is horrible. Benita said, absolutely, this is a good idea. After having made my first store visit, I found that many customers weren't practicing social distancing and weren't wearing masks. Misty Whitaker Brown said, people can't get a time slot for pickup now. How would they ever be able to fill more orders? I don't think it's feasible. And yes, Eric Chilton, a lot of people have had trouble trying to do those time slots for curbside pickup. Other people are having trouble getting delivery. So it does make you wonder, if everyone had to do that, how would they be able to handle it?
Yeah, I don't know. I think for me, it's like picking your own produce is a pretty big deal. We do the delivery. We've done delivery with some of the grocery stores that will actually come to your house. I know Whole Foods does it because they're owned by Amazon, but and you do. It's kind of luck of the draw. Sometimes what you choose is not exactly what you would have chosen probably on your own if you had been in the store. However, I completely understand the safety issue with this.
Yeah, and I think in this situation, I have been doing grocery delivery. I think if that is possible for you and you are able to do that, it's definitely something to take into consideration, because the less time you're out of the house, the less people you're seeing, of course, the less this virus could possibly spread. But I also think that shutting the doors to grocery stores could also come with some unintended side effects.
Yes, absolutely. We'll have to see how what people do with this one, because this will be a hot topic, I think, because you got to get groceries.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so once you get those groceries, whether you order them online or you go into the store and get them yourself, are you wiping them off and sanitizing them? Okay, I've been doing this, but the FDA now says it is not necessary. They say there is currently no evidence of food packaging being associated with the transmission of coronavirus. They remind you it's a respiratory illness. It's spread from person to person. Now, they said it's okay to wipe down the product packaging and allow it to dry just as a precaution, but again, it's not necessary. The FDA does recommend you wash your produce and wipe down the lids of canned goods.
The governor of Georgia announced plans to reopen his state by the end of the week, meaning gyms, hair salons, tattoo parlors, and even bowling alleys will be able to open by the end of the week. Businesses, though, will have to practice safe hygiene and social distancing guidelines. And then starting on Monday, movie theaters can start selling tickets again, and restaurants can have limited dine-in services.
These entities have been unable to manage inventory, deal with payroll, and take care of administrative items while we shelter in place.
Businesses will be required to screen workers for fevers. Bars, nightclubs, and amusement parks will stay closed. Georgia's shelter-in-place order expires on April 30th. So I asked you all on my Facebook page, do you think it is too soon to reopen the state of Georgia, or maybe do you think other states should follow suit? We did have a lot of comments here on this post, so let's get into some of what you had to say. Reaction really mixed on both sides here. Jolie writing, not sure how you can social distance while cutting someone's hair. Brenda writes, it is too soon. We are still hearing of new cases and deaths every day. The virus is not gone yet. We have stayed home this long. We can wait it out a little longer. Tiffany writes, I can't wait till they come back and do it here. We need to reopen up. And finally, Sharon writes, way too soon. Everything should be closed until the virus is completely gone. So, I see both sides here. There are people, Maddie, whose livelihoods have been essentially cut, people opening these businesses, and they are waiting to reopen. But then I kind of see where Jolie was saying, I don't really know how you can social distance if you're, cutting someone's hair or doing their nails. So I'm curious to see how Georgia really takes this on. And I know the eyes really of the rest of the nation will be on that state towards the end of this weekend and into next week.
Yeah, they're the first state so far to open up all of those businesses this week. Texas has started opening up some parks and other public areas, still enforcing those social distancing guidelines, Taheshah. But the thing to remember here is, even if the government decides to reopen, if you're not comfortable going out, you can make the decision to stay home still.
Right. No one's forcing you to go out. So if you don't want to get your hair cut for a month, 2 more months, that's on you. So.
All right, let's check in with Christian.
Well, I'll tell you what, ladies, the big story today, of course, has been the wind. 35 to even 40 mile per hour gusts close to it we've seen across the Triad today. Now, as we go into this evening, the good news is that those winds will calm down in quite a big way. It'll be much less windy tonight, and especially heading into your Wednesday as well. We're gearing up for a really nice day tomorrow. There are just a few very scattered in nature showers across the area, and those will continue as we go through the evening hours. Most of us do stay dry, but getting one of those stray showers is a possibility. And of course, that chance will dwindle as we go into the overnight hours. Temperature-wise, really nice across the area this afternoon. Lower 70s, 72 in Greensboro, 72 in Asheboro, 73 in High Point, 72 in Winston-Salem as well. Tonight, clear skies in the upper 30s to right around 40 degrees. I don't think we'll get a frost, but if you are trying to be cautious, you might want to cover up some of those sensitive plants. Tomorrow, it's just an absolutely picture-perfect day. Sunny skies, temperatures in the upper 60s to right around 70, and it will be much less windy. Now, here's what we're looking at. Tomorrow's nice, but there are 2 systems we're tracking. One will come our way on Thursday with some rain and the possibility of some strong to severe storms. That's something we'll keep an eye on, and then we'll watch for another one heading into your Saturday. Nice tomorrow, watching rain and some storms Thursday with temperatures in the mid-60s, drying out Friday afternoon in the lower 70s heading into the weekend.
Okay, Maddie and Chilton, I need you to finish the sentence. I scream, you scream.
We all scream.
For ice cream. I love the delay.
Okay, of course, it is an oldie but a
Horrible
goodie,
delay.
right? One of my favorite places to get ice cream is Homeland Creamery. Have you been there, Chilton?
Yeah, yes, I have 3 words for you. Butter pecan, fools. That's all I have to say.
All right, Maddie, you got a favorite flavor?
Honestly, even if Chilton wouldn't have called me a fool, I still would have chosen butter pecan.
Oh,
It's my
interesting.
favorite.
Okay, well, I was at Homeland Creamery this weekend, and this was at the end of the street after I drove by, and then look at this line all the way down this side, and then there's a line all the way down that side. What was that all about?
We have amazing neighbors, amazing friends and employees. Everybody dropped what they were doing and they showed up and they helped to get the products out the door to the customers.
Okay, so here are a few more pictures I took from this weekend. A lot of folks were in line.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay, so we want to make sure that we are answering your questions. We had a little technical difficulty with that stuff beforehand, but we want to make sure you don't miss this. We have an expert from 211, and we also have a text expert who's going to be here to answer your stimulus questions. They are here from 5:30 to 6, and you can text your questions online, 379-5775.
Hi there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Millennials are playing parent during this pandemic, trying to keep their parents safe at home. CBS News' Tom Hansen explains how the roles have reversed between the Gen Xers and millennials.
It's more frustration than anger. 40-year-old Leslie Sloan hasn't had difficulty keeping her 3 kids inside during the coronavirus pandemic, but her parents are another story.
I'm having to, I don't want to say discipline them, but a little bit like really tell my parents to stay at home and not go out.
With nearly the entire country on lockdown, many millennials and Gen Xers have taken to social media, venting about their efforts to convince older loved ones to stay at home.
It's been difficult. My mom was a little bit stir crazy and wanted to come into the office.
They thought I was crazy. They thought I was panicking, and I was.
Kate Kirshner recovered from COVID-19 just 3 weeks ago. She says her illness was a rude awakening for her parents and in-laws.
I think that many of these baby boomers are dealing with it by denying it. And the problem is that denial is what is actually going to be not only a threat to them, but to their spouses and to anybody that they come into contact with.
According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, older adults are at a higher risk for severe illness from COVID-19.
These are stressful times for everyone.
Psychologist and CBS News contributor Dr. Lisa Damour says younger adults can help keep their relationships intact by communicating effectively.
It may not be a single conversation, it may be a couple of conversations, and those conversations might happen over a day or two.
Kate feels her efforts are paying off.
We are able to connect, and we have to be creative about it.
She hopes providing her family with facts rather than frustrations will keep everyone safe. Tom Hansen, CBS News, New York.
I'm glad that a story was done on this because I feel like I've been having these conversations, with my cousins and with some of my other friends. I'm like, are your parents staying home? I don't worry about my mom because she works in healthcare, so she kind of gets it. But my dad is the person that I'm worried about. And my sister and I, when we have our group FaceTime chats with dad, we're like, did you leave the house today? If so, what for? What can we do? We're like states away. What can we do to make sure that you don't leave until absolutely necessary?
Explain yourself. Where were you today and why? Who are you with? How long were you gone? Right? Yeah, I haven't had this issue.
I don't know them. I don't know this person.
Can I speak to their parents about this? No, I haven't had this issue with my parents, with my dad working in healthcare. He knows what's going on and he's keeping my mom informed and everything like that. But I have seen many of my friends having to deal with this and be like, my parents just won't stay in. They're finding any excuse to go out and they don't understand. But yeah, I'm glad that CBS decided to do a story on this trend now. It's so funny how the roles have reversed.
Yeah, it's just because we care, right?
Right.
Isn't that the saying?
Yeah, that's what they told us when we were kids, right? It's just because we care. Yeah. It's because I love you so much. All right, interested to hear if this has been your experience, Christian Morgan. Have you had to sit your parents down and have a serious talk with them about leaving the house?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, everything kind of comes full circle, doesn't it? Yes, it's kind of one of those things now that we are telling our parents how to do things. All right, let's talk about the weather. Weather-wise, it's nice outside this afternoon. A few clouds in the area and just very scattered showers in nature. Most of us stay dry, but as this cold front crosses our area this evening, it's possible we get one of those stray showers. It's a pretty dry cold front. There's not a lot of moisture with it, and so that's why we only have that stray shower chance this evening. High pressure building in for Wednesday. Tomorrow is a beautiful day. But then we are watching our next weather system approaching from the southern plains on Thursday with a good chance for rain and the possibility that we get some strong to severe storms in the evening hours on Thursday. That's something that, of course, we'll keep an eye on for you and continue to track it as we get closer. A few of those scattered showers out there right now. Again, not a big deal if you get one. Most of us do stay dry this evening. Right around 70 degrees now. Temperatures falling into the 50s overnight, so if you want to get outside, maybe do some grilling for dinner, it's going to be the perfect night to do that. It will be getting cold, though, upper 30s to right around 40 for the overnight low. I don't think we'll get a frost, but if you have any sensitive plants, you might want to bring them in or protect them just in case, to be cautious. Tomorrow, beautiful day, less windy, lots of sunshine, and just a tad bit cooler, upper 60s to near 70 degrees for afternoon highs. Watching that rain and possible storms on Thursday afternoon and evening. Some of that rain could linger into Friday morning, but we dry out and temperatures are in the low 70s Friday afternoon, heading into the weekend.
Coming up on WFMY News 2 at 5, members of Reopen North Carolina continue pushing Governor Cooper and state leaders to lift stay-at-home restrictions. Their large protest today comes as another group, Stay Home North Carolina, pushes to keep the rules in place. They react to today's rally in Raleigh next on WFMY News 2 at 5.
You know, we all miss going out to eat, right? Especially some of those nicer dinners at good restaurants. I know I do. But a Greensboro institution has a cure, and it is definitely worth a look. See for yourself.
These days, you know how it is. It's virtual this, virtual that. There's always something we're doing online that we used to do in person. But this one is very different, and I loved it because I'm a fan of this restaurant. But Wes joins us from Undercurrent Restaurant in Greensboro, and what you guys are doing is pretty cool. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. Around March 18th, we kind of decided to take a pause when all of this started. And of course, because Undercurrent is an over 22-year-old restaurant, we missed our guests so much, and we wanted to do something that was on brand for us, which is wine dinners, which is something that we've also done for a very long time. And so we're doing a virtual wine dinner the Saturday before Mother's Day, because mothers need a fancy night out. And so we're gonna do what we can do to help with that.
Yeah, these days we have to go out the best way we can. So tell us how it works. You sign up for the dinner, you pay for it, it comes to your house, or how does it all work?
So it's actually going to be a curbside pickup, and we're going to schedule times with people, and it's going to be a ready-to-heat meal. And so what we're asking our guests is to kind of create a 4-course menu with some instruction from us, and then post it online and have a good time. And we've got Lawrence Welta from Trincaro Winery, and he's going to walk people through the wines.
Wow, that's really cool. You don't get that opportunity to interact with someone like that. This is a cool idea, man. Best of luck, Wes, and keep this coming. I think this could be a thing for a while.
Well, that virtual wine dinner is just before Mother's Day on May 9th. You can get all the details and a link to the reservation site on our website. Just look for the story on WFMYnews2.com. We'll be back with my 2 cents.
Hello, mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,